The lost art of life-changing conversations. There's a Korean phrase going viral right now, 인생톡톡, which roughly translates to life talk. Casual, honest conversations about life, the kind you'd have over coffee with someone who actually listens. But here's the thing, this isn't a new idea. Nearly 2,400 years ago, a man in Athens built his entire philosophy around exactly this. He never wrote a single book. He just asked questions in the marketplace, and those conversations changed the course of Western thought forever. His name was Socrates, and today we're going to break down exactly what he and philosophers after him knew about conversation that most of us have completely won. The Socratic method. Socrates didn't lecture people. He asked questions, one after another, until the person he was speaking with discovered the flaw in their own thinking, on their own. This is called the Socratic method, and it's recorded in the dialogues written by his student, Plato. The pattern was almost always the same. Someone would claim they understood a concept, justice, courage, virtue, and Socrates would ask a simple follow-up question, then another, then another. By the end, the person often realized they didn't actually know what they thought they knew. Socrates called this midwifery of the mind. He believed he wasn't handing people answers. He was helping them give birth to ideas that were already inside them. Here's the practical takeaway. The next time you're in a real conversation, not small talk, but a conversation that matters, try asking one more question before offering your opinion. What do you mean by that? Why do you think that's true? You'll be surprised how often the other person arrives at real clarity just by being asked, not told. 2. The Stoics and the conversation with yourself. A few centuries later, Roman Stoic philosophers took this idea somewhere unexpected, inward. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, kept a private journal that we now know as Meditations. It wasn't written for readers. It was Marcus literally talking to himself, questioning his own reactions, his anger, his fear, the same way Socrates questioned strangers in the marketplace. Seneca, another major Stoic voice, wrote letters to his friend Lucilius, walking through personal struggles with total honesty. Grief, ambition, the fear of death, treating conversation as a tool for self-examination, not performance. The Stoic practice was simple. At the end of each day, ask yourself real questions. What did I do well? Where did I let my emotions control me? What would I do differently? This is the same mechanism as 인생톡톡, except the person on the other side of the conversation is you. 3. Eastern traditions and the art of listening. While Greek and Roman philosophy focused heavily on questioning, Eastern traditions added something the West often overlooked: deep, silent listening. In Buddhist practice, there's a concept sometimes translated as deep listening. The idea that most people listen only long enough to prepare their next response, not to actually understand the other person. Real listening means setting your own reaction aside completely, at least for a moment. Zen dialogues, called koans, work similarly to Socratic questioning, but with an added twist. Many koans don't have a clean, logical answer at all. Questions like, What is the sound of one hand clapping? Weren't meant to be solved with logic. They were meant to interrupt the constant chatter of the analytical mind, so something quieter and more honest could surface. This matters for conversation because most life-changing talks don't happen when we're clever. They happen when we finally stop performing and actually listen to someone else or to ourselves. 4. Why this is surging now. So why is Insentuktok, this idea of casual, honest life conversation, trending heavily right now, especially across Korea? Part of it seems tied to a broader cultural shift. In a hyper-digital world full of short-form content and surface-level interaction, people are hungry for something slower. Real conversation, real reflection, real presence with another human being. It's the same reason Stoicism has quietly exploded in popularity over the last several years, and why so many people are returning to older, simpler models of self-examination. We're not looking for new philosophy. We're rediscovering old philosophy, because it turns out these ancient thinkers already solved a lot of the problems we're facing today. 5. A simple method you can actually use. Let's make this practical. Here's a simple 3-step method pulled directly from what we just covered that you can use in your very next real conversation. Step 1. Ask before you answer. Borrowed from Socrates. Before comparing your opinion, ask one clarifying question. What do you mean by that? This alone changes the entire tone of a conversation. Step 2. Talk to yourself honestly at the end of the day. Borrowed from the Stoics. 2 questions are enough. Where did I act well today? And where did I let my emotions run the show? Step 3. Listen without preparing your response. Borrowed from Buddhist practice. Next time someone is talking to you about something that matters, consciously set aside the urge to respond and just take in what they are saying, fully, without a rebuttal already loading in your head. None of this requires special training. It just requires slowing down. Closing. Insentuktok might feel like a modern trend, but really, it's just humanity rediscovering something it always knew. That the most transformative moments in life rarely come from clever answers. They come from honest questions, honest reflection, and real listening. The next conversation you have today, try just one of these 3 steps. You might be surprised what actually changes. If this gave you a new way to think about your own conversations, that's exactly what Inner Compass is here for. Subscribe, and let's keep exploring the ideas that actually shape how we live.